God said, "If my people who are called by my name humble themselves and pray and seek my face and turn from their wicked ways, then I will hear from heaven and forgive their sin and heal their land." The Our Lady of Fatima said in his apparition, "In the end, my Immaculate Heart will triumph. The Holy Father will consecrate Russia to me, and she shall be converted, and a period of peace will be granted to the world." Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to our para-liturgy in preparation for the consecration of Ukraine and Russia, together with our beloved Pope Francis. Today, Pope Francis will consecrate Russia and Ukraine to the Immaculate Heart of Mary. What does that mean exactly? And why is this consecration significant for all of us? Here's what you need to know. Consecration means to make holy. When one makes an act of consecration, it is made ultimately to God, with the understanding that our consecration is a serious commitment on our part to respond faithfully to God's grace at work in our lives. You may or may not have heard of the concept of consecration before. A person or nation that is consecrated is set aside for a holy purpose. The word entrustment is often used synonymously with the word consecration. The Vatican's Congregation for Divine Worship defines consecration to Mary as an overt recognition of the singular role of Mary in the mystery of Christ and of the Church, and of the universal and exemplary importance of her witness to the gospel, of trust in her intercessions, and of the efficacy of her patronage. Pope St. John Paul II, who consecrated the entire church and the world to Mary for 3 times during his pontificate, taught that by consecrating oneself to Mary, we accept her help in offering ourselves fully to Christ. Consecration is an entrustment and also an appeal to God. The entrustment here is the fact that we lay ourselves, our families, our country, our hearts, our prayers, our desires at the feet of Our Lady. And that serves God's purposes because it elevates Our Lady in the mind of the church and hopefully in the mind of the world. And it's an appeal to God for our particular needs. Why Marian consecration are important? The Marian consecrations are important because they signify our love and trust in our Blessed Mother Mary, and we beseech her protection as her children in a very special way. We have to remember that Mary specifically asked that Russia be consecrated to her Immaculate Heart. The 1917 apparitions at Fatima are some of the world's most famous apparitions. In the course of her appearances, Mary revealed 3 secrets, the second of which was a statement that World War I would end, as well as a prediction of another war that would start during the reign of Pius XI if people continued to offend God and Russia was not consecrated to Mary's Immaculate Heart. Sister Lucia, one of the three Fatima visionaries, said that Mary told her, "If my requests are heard, Russia will be converted and there will be peace. If not, Russia will spread her errors throughout the world, causing wars and persecutions of the church. The good will be martyred. The Holy Father will have much to suffer, and various nations will be annihilated." In the years following the revelation of the secret, various consecrations of Russia performed by subsequent popes to fulfill the requirements set forth by the Blessed Virgin Mary. In a letter written in 1989, Sister Lucia confirmed that Pope St. John Paul II satisfied Mary's request for Russia's consecration in 1984. At the time, Ukraine and Russia were both part of the Soviet Union. During these contemporary troubled times, Ukraine's Latin Rite Catholic bishops requested that Pope Francis do the consecration amid the invasion of their country. They sent a letter to Pope Francis on March 2, asking him to publicly perform the act of consecration to the Immaculate Heart of Mary, as requested by the Blessed Virgin Mary during the apparition in Fatima. Why do this consecration on March 25? We have to remember that March 25 is the feast of the Annunciation, which is a prominent Marian feast. The day was especially recommended by Saint Louis de Montfort for personal consecration to our Blessed Lady. This is the perfect day for Saint John Paul II, who chose to do it on the same holy day before, and therefore this is a good day for anyone to make their personal consecration, or to Pope Francis to do this consecration of Russia and Ukraine. The director of the Holy See has confirmed that Pope Francis has invited the bishops of the whole world, along with their priests, to join him in the prayer for peace in the consecration and entrustment of Russia and Ukraine to the Immaculate Heart of Mary. The Pope will make the prayer in the afternoon of Friday, 25th of March, the feast of the Solemnity of the Annunciation, in St. Peter's Basilica, on the occasion of the celebration of penance, scheduled to begin at 5 p.m. The same act on the same day will be undertaken by all the bishops of the world, including all our bishops and priests here in the Philippines, in the Manila Cathedral, which we are going to witness later on. Why the Pope need to consecrate Russia and Ukraine to the Immaculate Heart of Mary? Remember, consecration is always a good thing, and that the ongoing war is a context which is sufficient and of itself to warrant a consecration. Already at the Angelus on March 13, Pope Francis had invited the whole church to pray. I asked all diocesan and religious communities to increase their moments of prayer for peace. And at the general audience on 23rd of February, he had called for a day of prayer and fasting for peace and preserve the world from the madness of war. As Pope Francis consecrates Russia together with Ukraine to the Immaculate Heart of Mary in communion with all the bishops in the world during this feast day of the Annunciation of Mary, let us also entrust and consecrate ourselves and especially our own families to her protection. Because as we know, our own families has many battles to conquer and many trials to overcome in these modern times. But with the intercession of the Blessed Mother, God will protect our families and we will emerge victorious. Let us remember that the Marian consecration is the act of entrusting our families and our entire life to the protection, guidance, and intercession of Our Lady. When consecrating ourselves to Our Lady, we are consecrating also ourselves to Jesus through Mary. As Pope John Paul II explained, consecrating ourselves to Mary means accepting her help and to offer ourselves and our families. The act of entrusting oneself to Mary's care and intercession is nothing new. In fact, Jesus himself entrusted his beloved disciple John to Mary while he was on the cross. And we've been asking for Mary's intercession and intervention in our lives since the beginning of the church. Let us remember that the Blessed Mother is, after all, our mother too. We have to put in mind that Dominicans and Aquinians has a very special loving devotion to the Blessed Virgin Mary. We believe that through the propagation of praying the Holy Rosary, we have the most effective weapon to fight evil in this world, as revealed by the Blessed Mother herself to our blessed founder, Saint Dominic de Guzman. So today, as one family, together with the Pope, let us now consecrate ourselves and our families. Let us hold our rosaries. Let our light of candles storm heaven with our prayers by praying always the Holy Rosary.